How do I go about being on mission despite my circumstances? I would argue that today's text teaches the answer is joyfully and full of praise. If there were ever a time to advocate for doom and gloom, sky is falling, sell stocks and buy gold, build a bunker Christianity, this might have been a time where they were at, right there. I mean, they were kind of in the bunker, right? But they were in an otherwise hopeless jail situation, and we find them singing praise in the middle of it. Let me make a cultural observation. I think I said this once during the 100-Year War, so bear with me. It's really important to say it again. Christians used to be known by the secular culture and the media as the doom and gloom crowd. You used to be the doom and gloom people. Did you know that? Did anyone ever tell you that about yourself? It's because we used to have this reputation of being negative Nancy's because we would preach correctly that the world is going to end one day and that judgment is coming and that hell is real and that Jesus is going to return and wrap all this up. And Christians got made fun of for it. And then something happened in the last decade. The secular world, the unbelieving world, kind of started topping us in their dark vision for the future. All of a sudden, the media and the politicians became more adept at fear-mongering than even the caricatures painted of what we were supposed to be. To quote Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, if we don't address climate change, the world will end in 12 years. Well, we're about 3 years into that quote, so you got 9 years, ladies and gentlemen. Make them count. That's pretty dark, isn't it? I mean, that's dark to say. When young people today think about the end of the world, they don't think about Revelation. They don't think about the return of Christ. They think about climate change and nuclear war. The media cycle is depressing because despair sells more than joy. Once you learn that, you'll start to see it for what it is. Despair sells more than joy. We used to say sex sells. It still does. But so does fear. Fear sells too. I'm going to say something practical to think about. You going out into the woods and enjoying nature with your family doesn't sell advertisement money to anybody. You turning off the TV and playing Monopoly or Apples to Apples, or if you're with me, Taboo and Cranium, doesn't sell your data to anybody. Doesn't sell your eyeballs, what you look at on the screen, to anybody. Working with your hands, taking a walk, reading a paper book from the church library doesn't sell anything to anybody. So what am I saying? The world is fast becoming a joyless place because it does not know the joy giver, Jesus Christ. It cannot sing hymns at midnight because it cannot look to a powerful God and say he's got the whole world in his hands. It has no hope in death. It has no God, and thus politics and government become gods. Politicians are its gods. Policies are its commandments. Pundits and commentators are its preachers. There is no transcendental answer to the questions of life because truth changes every year. You know what becomes the sought-after commodity in a world like this? The most sought-after commodity. I'm talking like toilet paper 3 weeks into COVID, like that kind of a commodity. Joy, happiness, true, lasting, real joy and peace and hope. There was a book that I had to read in ninth grade, and I remember because I liked it. Very few books that I liked that I was forced to read, but I liked this one. It was called The Giver. Y'all remember that book? They made a movie about it. One of the things that I've always remembered from that book was that the people in this dystopian future could not see color. They were unable to see colors. Everyone kind of lived in this gray, tamped down, bland, same experience, and it kind of feels like that's where the world's trying to move us, doesn't it? Where we're all just plugged in, like we have this big cord in the back of our head, and we're just all plugged in and laying in the soup. Feels like that's where people are trying to move us, a place without joy, a place without beauty. But Christians, of all people, we should have the switch in the Wizard of Oz when they go from black and white to color. Boom, we've got it. All of a sudden, Judy Garland's out there singing and dancing. We should be, of all people, the ones who have access to joy and goodness and beauty. But not only that, we should be the ones giving it away. We should be the ones that have it. People should be coming up to us in the parking lot. We got our little trench coat on. They say, hey, you got the good stuff? And I said, yes, I do right here. I got Christian joy, all you need. What do you want? I can get it for you. You looking to wake up? I got you. Here's a Bible. That's right. The whole point of having joy in your life is that it can help you endure various trials in life, that it goes beyond your circumstances. You know, there's a little point to having joy when life is going well, but then it disappears the second that things even get mildly uncomfortable. There's little value in having faith, but then losing your mind when the storm rolls in on the Sea of Galilee and you see Jesus sleeping on the pillow. We need battle-tested, circumstance-proof joy and faith. And that's what Paul and Silas had. If they didn't have it, then I don't know what it is. But they had it. Joy that superseded their circumstances and even thrived in the jail cell. I would love to have that. Wouldn't you love to have joy like that? When something bad happens and your first thought is, let's sing about it. I mean, that's deep stuff. Jail time and being beaten didn't stop them from praising the Lord. I want to encourage you in your life to systematically remove things in your life that suck the joy out. I want to encourage you to do that. I want you to think right now, what in my life sucks the most joy from my soul? Think about that for a second. Now, kids, I don't want you saying doing my homework. That doesn't count, all right? I mean something that adds nothing to your life, and you don't even have to have it. And if you don't know where to start, if you're kind of sitting there blank, sin is the perfect example of that. Anything in your life that's sinful, I promise you, though you think it brings you joy today, it steals it from tomorrow. Jail time did not stop Paul and Silas from praising the Lord. They did it loudly with an audience in front of the jailer.